8 to 10,000, taken in by Kevin McKenzie, the hooker for Scotland A. The All Blacks are expecting much more competition today than they received midweek. It's a much bigger pack against them, as the kick is made by Redpath, and well taken by Inga just on the Scotland A side of halfway. And just look at the commitment of the Scottish pack already, and that is certainly a little different to what we saw midweek. Well, Shane Houth was with me in the commentary, and Shane, it was a bit of a whitewash midweek, but I think the All Black party expecting something better today.
Well, they've come out fired up, the Scotland A side, and that's good to see, but I think the All Blacks are just as fired up. It's all the goings for a good game, definitely.
Well, the All Blacks have a couple of stone on them, but it's not much in it as Stu Forster clears it away for Ellis, whose play on this tour has been impressive, and that's a great start by Mark Ellis. A wiper's kick across field, and he really has worked on his kicking on this tour, and that was a very good start for him. Now the lineouts are going to be very interesting indeed. There's some huge men in this Scotland A team, players like Munro, McDonald, Wainwright, and Alan Watt, who's the big fellow standing at the front of the lineout. He's about 19 stone. The little hooker, 5'6" of him, Kevin McKenzie. The lineout is won by Watt, but I'm sure the All Blacks will sort that out pretty quickly.
Well, that's right. You know, with the two guys, Ian Jones and Stevie Gordon's having a great tour so far, and they've won a lot of line-out balls. So down the back, we've got Jamie back. That's good to see him. He'll win a fair bit of line-out ball, hopefully.
One world of sport at Old Anniesland ground in Glasgow. No score, just a few minutes gone, and the All Blacks doing the early attacking in the match. Sean Fitzpatrick in his 87th match for the All Blacks today. Ian Jones impeded, so also is Jamie Joseph. One that's taken in by Steve Gordon. A much more physical start by the local forward pack, and the All Blacks were expecting that too. They've got possession of the ball through Aaron Penny, but at the moment not making too much forward progress. Now Craig Dowd takes it off him as they march it across towards the 22, and they get the penalty. Offside, says referee Spreadbury. The local players standing up in an offside position, and so Matthew Cooper has a chance early in the game to put New Zealand ahead. So let's have a look at some of these guys. Number 5 there, Andy McDonald. He's a huge man. But Matthew Cooper's goal kicking on this tour has been quite outstanding. .47 points so far. Regulation kick here for Matthew Cooper, 15 metres in from the touchline. And that is a good kick. Cooper lands the goal early on. And the All Blacks lead Scotland A after just 3 minutes by 3 points to 0. Well, Shane Houth, you goal kickers have done a lot of work on the tour, and Matthew Cooper really has been in a standing form.
Well, Coops has had a great tour with the boot. It's been fantastic to see Coops, and it's really good because he's given me a hand with mine too.
Beautifully taken in by Ian Jones, and another penalty. And this time it's the little hooker who's around in an offside position. Referee saying to the Scotland A players, it's basic stuff, stay on side. And Cooper bangs the ball away downfield. Well, it's the new law. You must join from the back of the maul. Can't come in on the sides. Olo Brown standing out of the line-up for the All Blacks, so they've taken a couple out. Looking down the back, and it bounces off Paul Henderson. Falls nicely for Rob Wainwright. Now he's a big, strong fellow, this Army doctor, Rob Wainwright. The kick made by Brian Redpath, but All Blacks defensively in good position. And John Timu has found touch with a lovely kick. My word, he's an excellent punter of the ball, is John Timu.
He's very good with his kicking. He's worked a lot on it so far on tour. It's been good to see. But I think, you know, the All Blacks realise now that they've got a game on. Scotland A's come out fired up. It's I think we hurt the pride of the Scottish on Wednesday, and they're certainly showing us how to play today. It's good.
Yes, certainly these players out to salvage some pride after the 84-5 drubbing midweek at Gala Shields. The lineouts are competitive, that's for sure. Fitzpatrick goes in as Forster makes the kick downfield. Michael Dodd's coming forward to meet it, and he took it outside the 22, so he can't go back and kick it. And he did the right thing as Jeff Wilson arrived.
It's been a pretty good weapon, Grant, with Stewie Forster putting up the box kicks, and Jeff Wilson's a very good chaser. And once the pressure's on, it's good. It's good to get down here and get the ball.
Little Gary Parker there, the man who scored the try the other day. And we've heard a lot about him in the last week or so. One World of Sport at Old Annie's Land ground in Glasgow. 3 points to nil, the All Blacks lead as Steve Gordon deflects nicely. Forster overwhelmed, so the All Blacks need a new halfback, but in fact has been taken in by the forwards. Good ball retention here by the All Blacks. Now Forster's back in position. Penny's going to shunt it up. And he gets through the first tackle easily enough. That's the tackle of Wainwright. And it was lost forward. Well, this team has got a lot to live up to. I believe somebody doing statistics the other day said that the All Blacks only made 4 mistakes in the entire game the other day.
I wouldn't have a clue how many mistakes we made, Grant. I know we played pretty well, but 4 mistakes, that's pretty good.
It's very good. As Doug Whitey clears downfield, good kick. Well, Doug Whitey, the first 5, is only a replacement for Craig Chalmers, but he's been around a long time. First capped in 1984 against Australia. He's had 12 test matches, so he's a player with vast experience. There's Big Alan Watt, who once upon a time was a lock forward. The Scottish selectors decided to push him into the front row. He started off as a tight head prop. Now he plays on the loose head side. Henderson getting in there. It's taken in though by Dave McIver. Another one of these players playing for a test spot. Good little burst here by Redpath. Good control and taken in by Carl Hogg, the number 8. Now Redpath whips it away to Wiley. Across it goes to Scott Nicol. And his kick goes a little bit aimless, although Ken Logan is coming very quickly on John Timu. But the kick from Scott Nicol perhaps not the best.
No, he could have angled that a bit better, but it's still, you know, it's still put the All Blacks under pressure, and they've got a throw-in on 22, so I guess they got what they, were looking for.
3 points to nil. The All Blacks lead. The penalty goal kicked by Matthew Cooper after just a couple of minutes play in the first half. It's a lovely little ground, this. Now they go down the back for Wainwright. They find it well too. Back it goes inside to Hogg. McIver drove it on. This is good play. Wainwright again. Now it goes up to big Alan Watt, the huge man. It's coming again too for Redpath. Away for Wiley. The little kick through made by Dodds. Attempting to run Logan in, but the All Blacks were standing up too flat. They're offside. And that's good spirited play by Scotland A, and they've earned themselves a penalty. Just have a look at this. It was nicely set up by Watt, and the All Blacks away to the left are deemed to be offside. You can see now Tony Spreadbury signalling. Tried the little kick through, did Dodds, and that's where the penalty came. So, the goal kicking to be done by Gary Parker, who's the top point scorer in Scottish rugby this season. Didn't land one the other day. Let's see how he gets on this time. No, he's pushed it away to the right. So no goal. The All Blacks retain their 3-point advantage. But it's been a good start, Shane Howard, by Scotland A.
Yeah, but I think if the All Blacks can soak this up and soak the pressure up that Scotland A is putting on them and get back down, the first 20 was always going to be hard. That's what we were talking about through leading up to this game, that the first 20, the Scottish were going to come out fired up. But the boys are holding out so far. They're better at the other end of the field, though, I think.
That's right. Matthew Cooper then from the 22. There's some big men in this Scottish pack. Looks like it's coming on the Scottish side again. There's Alan Watts. He's been very prominent. Ken Logan bursting onto it. He's the right winger, even though he's wearing number 11. Don't be confused. He's playing on the right wing. Now Wiley. And the whistle's gone. Referee said unlucky. It's I don't think he likes the law much, judging by what he said to the players. And he's penalised Scotland A for being offside, which is interesting. They were in possession of the ball.
I think he penalised him, Grant, for being in front when the kick went up. So I think it was an automatic penalty. Interesting comment, though, by Tony Spreadbury. As he penalised Scotland A, he said, "I don't agree with the law." Words to that effect. So Matthew Cooper is the point scorer in the game so far. 3 points to 0. Fitzpatrick looking for Ian Jones. Oh, they're climbing all over him down the back. And it's against Brian Redpath, who is not able to compete in the line-out. So Jamie Joseph takes it himself. He runs it up. First day back for Joseph after injured at Red Ruth. Aaron Penny, now Jones. Good ball retention. Now Ellis. Right across the face. A little bit of indecision. Bunt's got a hand on it. And offside against the All Blacks. A little bit of indecision there in midfield. Yeah, that didn't seem to flow as the forwards had set a good pattern. I think you know, just a lack of communication between Bunty and Mac, but you know, that's wasted pull because it was a very good ball set up by the forwards.
Paul Henderson, another player back in the All Blacks today after being injured at Red Ruth. Both he and Jamie Joseph pressing for inclusion for the test at Murrayfield next Saturday. One world of sport, 3 points to 0. Kevin McKenzie. Another good tap, this time by Shade Munro. They're getting a fair bit of ball in the lineouts. Henderson gets up there to make the tackle on Ian Jardine. Very competitive so far, Scotland A, and in fact they've got themselves another penalty. All Blacks lying all over the ball. That's the ruling from the referee, and it's another penalty. Quickly taken by Wiley. Saw the All Blacks weren't quite ready out wide. Now it's a chance for Logan. Now he's an international class winger, this fellow. McKenzie back in field, knocked on by McIver. Well, they had an opportunity there. There was a bit of an overlap, but not able to cash in. And an injured player away to the right, Scott Nicol, as Dave McIver gets up. He's the grey-headed fellow. But they're going to have a look now at Scott Nicol.
Well, Scotland A seem to be running it a lot more than what South of Scotland. I suppose it's because they got more ball, Grant, but they seem to want to do things with it today. That's but there was good cover defence there. I think Ingham put the hit on here.
Let's have a look at this. Yes, we just can't really see it there because of the post, but a good run here by Logan. And had they been able to hang on to their passes here, they might have been dangerous.
That was quite good coverage, well, incredible coverage from Olo and Craig Dowd. The two props were out there on a winger. That's great coverage from the boys.
Scott Nicol of Selkirk, who went on the Scottish tour of the South Pacific. He's being attended to. In the meantime, we can't see it at the moment, but Bull Allen is coming onto the into the All Black team, and Craig Dowd has left. Now, we may just see that in a moment, but you'll have to take my word for it. Mark Allen is in the front row. Forster with the kick. Waiting for it again is Logan. Oh, Tuigamala hits him hard. That's another one of those big tackles. You can see it coming a mile off. Beautifully timed kick, though, by Forster. Now it's away for Ellis. And again, Mark Ellis with a nice little dab in behind the backs as Parker goes back. And all he can do is run it into touch. Goodness me, there's been some big hits on this tour.
Well, that's one of Inga's trademarks at the moment. In all tour, he's done it. But that he lines him up. I'd hate to be under that ball. That's just great work from Inga.
Gary Parker was on the other wing. He'd be pleased to be on the other wing too, I'm sure. So the All Blacks back onto the attack. Mark Allen standing at the front of the lineup. He's on there for Craig Dowd. Now whether Dowd comes back or not, I'm not sure. All Blacks lose the line out, and good clean ball for Brian Redpath, and a nice clearance by the little fella from Melrose, who's right in there. It looks pretty much as though Andy Nicol will play the test match for Scotland. So there's confirmation that Mark Allen is on the field. All Blacks losing control again in midfield. Taken in by Ian Jardine. And Scotland A getting it back again. Redpath away for Wiley. The little dab in behind the defence, but Fitzpatrick doing a good job Good play by Sean Fitzpatrick as he gets shoved across the touchline by Ken Logan.
That's great coverage from Fitzy there. That's magic work to get behind and take those chips. It's good to see.
Well, it looks very much as though Craig Dowd is out of the game. He's put his tracksuit on across the far side. We haven't actually seen him as yet, but he's across on the far side, and Mark Allen into the game. Again, Scotland A winning it. Andy McDonald, number 5 this time. As I said earlier, they've got some huge men in the line-out, and they're certainly playing to them at this stage. Back again for Redpath. Another testing kick, although it might drift across the touchline. No, it's well judged. And they'll line it out 15 metres out from the 22.
It's a bit disturbing, Graham, to see the amount of line-out ball that Scotland A are winning at the moment. But I'm sure Jamie and Jonesy and Stevie G will be having a wee talk on injury breaks to see what they can do. But the Scotland A, seem to be, winning quite a bit of line-out ball.
Fitzpatrick, Steve Gordon, not too happy, and Olo Brown also. They're a little bit unhappy about the line-out tactics, and the referee agrees with them this time, and it's a penalty. Well, they've certainly been a lot more competitive, the Scotland A team, than the midweek side were able to provide. They're certainly more formidable in terms of physical presence, aren't they?
Well, once again, the front 5 of Scotland A have come out fired up and are taking it to the All Blacks. That's something that didn't happen on Wednesday, and they're winning a bit of ball and they're doing something with it. And the boys' defence is good so far.
Ian Jones gets both hands to that one, and what have we got here? Another penalty. Dave McIver is offside. The referee knows all these players by their name, and he said Dave McIver is offside. So number 6 is the man who's been pinged by referee Spreadbury, and it's going to be a shot at goal here for Matt Cooper. Well, Matthew Cooper has his 50 points on tour after that first penalty. And he seems to have taken to the second 5/8 position like a duck to water.
Well, he's played a lot at second 5 and centre for Waikato. The midfield, he's such a versatile player, Coops. He can play, from fullback through to second 5, and he suits any position really. He's good at both fullback and second 5.
So Matthew Cooper, from a very handy position, should put the All Blacks further in front. And yes, he does. So that's 2 penalty goals today by Matthew Cooper, and the All Blacks now lead by 6 points to 0.
6-0 for New Zealand.
Doug Wiley with the dropout. Pushing it just a little bit too far. Steve Gordon, he tried to grab it. He's got it on the second take, though, by the looks of things. Forster back for Ellis. And Mark Ellis playing with a real maturity at first 5/8. They're getting a long kick away downfield. Michael Dobbs with a long time to wait before the first All Black arrives. And Dodds finding the touchline. Well, 4 of this Scotland A backline, Shane, played midweek. They'd be a little bit shell-shocked going out there today, I would think.
Yeah, but I think they've come out to prove something, especially the backs. There was a lot of talk after our game that their defence was pretty poor. And I think they've come out today to prove that they actually can tackle, and they're doing a good job at the moment.
Well, the All Blacks win 1-4, do they? No, they don't win it from their own throw. In fact, it went over the back, and it was claimed by McIver. Scotland A, as you could see by that graphic, really doing extremely well on the lineouts. Another good little kick. The All Blacks again having to sprint back in defence, led by John Timu. And his kick is not in touch. Now Dodds. Now this guy can really run. He can play on the wing as well, but his kick is just angled away from Stu Forster. Forster with all the time in the world, though. And that's a good kick by Forster. Somebody had to kick it out, and it was left with the little Otago halfback to do the job.
Stu seems to get around the field quite a lot, and that was once again good covering. I think at the moment that once we get down, we've scored points, and I think the boys have sort of got to settle down a bit. They're still a bit shocked by the opening from Scotland A.
Last man in the line-out for Scotland A is Rob Wainwright. He's a cap player. There's quite a few cap players in this team. There's Henderson, Paul Henderson on the burst, just out from the 22. Now Forster feeds it up to Fitzpatrick on the charge. Taken down by Doug Wiley as opposing captain. The All Blacks should be able to win this again. Yes, they do. Now Ellis looking inside for Inga. Inga's through a couple. Good strong run by Tuigamala. And they've lost it forward just as he tried to make the transfer into Jamie Joseph. And the All Blacks just lost control of it.
Once again, the forwards are setting up good patterns going wide. That was a good run from Inga, but I think he tried to push the pass where he shouldn't have. He should have just set it up. But, the forwards are working really well together and getting the ruck ball back. It's good.
Back it goes now for Wiley. And nice control by the Scottish side as Wiley makes the clearing kick. Doug Wiley came to New Zealand as a replacement at the 1987 World Cup when John Rutherford was injured. And so, as I said earlier, he's a player of vast experience. But talking to a few people before the game, people like Sean Lenine say the only thing that's held him back is a lack of confidence in his own ability. Slapped back by Aaron Penny this time. Bit underrated as a line-out forward, Penny. Kick made by Matt Cooper. Coming in, charging in after it is Michael Dodds. It quickly given away by Jones. Now a chance here for Tuigamala. Tries to get away, does get away from Logan. Good support from Mark Ellis. The first try of the game comes up, and Mark Ellis scores it. His fourth on tour. Joy for the New Zealand supporters as the first try is posted.
As we see here, Jamie did really well to straighten up and give it to Inga. Now Inga used a bit of his strength, and it was great backing up from Mark Ellis to get inside. He's been a centre, it's instinctive to get out there and back up, and he's very good at it, Mac. I think that's about 4 tries on tour now.
Good work here. The All Blacks got it very quickly out to Tuigamala. Now he made mincemeat of Ken Logan, who could well play for Scotland next Saturday. And then Ellis, he also disposed very quickly of Brian Redpath, and that's the first try. So with the High School of Glasgow as a backdrop, Matt Cooper attempting to convert the try, scored by Mark Ellis, and not able to do so. So that's a rare miss on the tour for Matthew Cooper, but the All Blacks have established a good break. 11 points to 0 they lead. Let's go back to it again. It was just all a quick transfer, wasn't it? Away to Inga, and he brushed away his man, and then it's backing up.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it wasn't a good kick from Coops, but the boys got the ball back and got it out quick, and Jonesy straight to Jamie to Inga, and it was all on.
Now back live, and Mark Ellis, the try scorer, this time in a different role as he kicks it away for touch. Well, he came on the other day as a replacement at Gala Shields and scored a try. He scored a couple, of course, at Anfield. So he's a try-scoring first 5'8", if you like. Beautifully secured again by Alan Watt, who's got a couple of caps for Scotland, could well play in the test next week. Now Wiley again, trying to angle it away, but has he just kicked it a bit far? Yes, he has. Jim Fleming, the referee, at least the touch judge today, Jim Fleming, decides that it was out on the full. Tony Spreadbury just announcing to anyone who wanted to hear that he's a 31-year-old paramedic.
He likes talking to the referee a wee bit through this microphone.
He's got plenty to say, I'll say, yes. Nicely taken in by Redpath, scampers away, Wiley, confronted by Ian Jones, who makes a good tackle, and the kick's made downfield, and a good one too, this time by Gary Parker. The little fellow who's scampering down, trying to avoid the quick throw-in by the All Blacks. Now, I've said a lot about this guy in the last few days, the guy that played for Napier City Rovers, after having played for Heart of Midlothian over here.
Talked to a few of the Scottish liaison guys. I reckon he's a pretty good character. He's quite funny. He's, I guess he got that trait from New Zealand.
Yes, he's an ebullient little bloke. So Fitzpatrick. Oh, there's a big line-out take. The All Blacks not winning their own ball. Wiley brings it back in, hands it back into Shade Munro, and the big forward pack starts to roll. Now here's Watt. Aaron Penny makes a good solid tackle on him. Now Redpath, who's next? This time it's the second 5'8", Ian Jardine. Good solid play here. Away for Wiley. Drop kick coming up from Doug Wiley, and it's through. Well, they worked it well, and Wiley gets the first points on the board for Scotland A.
There's a couple of good rucks here from the Scottish. Good defence from our boys, but they gave Doug Wiley a bit of time, and he made certain of that one.
Matthew Cooper with the restart. Trying to claim it there was big Shade Munro. And offside. Referee said it was unlucky. It was, in fact, it was a knock on and then offside. And I suppose Scotland, they will say, why didn't you play the first infringement?
Yeah, I guess that it's a funny rule that you should play the first infringement, which was a knock on, but I'm sure Matt and Fitzy aren't worried about this penalty.
Yes, there was a knock on. A player came from an offside position. Shake of the head by the referee, who's a bit of a character, this guy, Tony Spreadbury. He's pretty well rated amongst English referees, but as you say, he's got a lot to say out there.
Yeah, he's got a way to go to what our midweek ref was. We had a very good English referee in the midweek, you know, after the sort of, we had a few worries in the English part of it, but yeah, this guy, he sounds like a bit of a character coming through on the microphone.
So Matthew Cooper attempting his third penalty of the day. He's kicked two and missed the conversion. Cooper. Good looking kick again. Yes, that's another one for Matthew Cooper. His third penalty goal, and the All Blacks out to 14 points to 3.
I think the really good thing, Grant, is when we get down into their territory, we're scoring points. So, you know, I think if Mark plays it cool and gets us down there, the points will keep coming, hopefully.
One World of Sport at the old Anniesland ground in Glasgow. Wiley's kick not too effective. Easy enough for Cooper to take and easy enough for Cooper to kick it out. But they might go for the quick throw, and no. Redpath decides to hang on. Well, those sort of kickoffs really, Shane, are a wee bit aimless.
Yeah, the English tried that on us as well. They're quite easy to clear. I don't know whether they have no confidence in themselves to retain the ball from kickoffs, but they are pointless kickoffs, really.
Bull Allen there in the front of the line-up wearing number 20. He's the replacement for Craig Dowd as the Scottish team prepare to run the ball. And that's a useful-looking wiper's kick by Scott Nichol.
They're still getting their fair share of line-out ball, Grant. Hopefully the boys can counter it. Well, they seem to be getting a lot of line-out ball at the moment.
Well, there's hardly a short man, apart from the hooker, in the line-out. They're all very big. And look at that. 2-1 the line-outs against the All Blacks, so that'll be a real concern. Tapped there by Watt. Hard man to get it over him as well. He's about 6'4", as well as being 19 stone. Now Wiley. Wiley sails through one gap. Finally, Ellis puts him on the ground. Then it's snapped up by Wainwright, who's had a good game so far. And they're on a roll once again, Scotland A. But they've lost it forward just at a time when they didn't want to.
Well, they're really committed at the moment, the Scottish guys. I mean, our defence has been good up to now. Hopefully it'll still hold. But they're definitely a lot more committed than what the team was on Wednesday.
Well, there was a lot of despair around after the game in Wednesday in Scottish rugby because they thought the South of Scotland team would provide real competition. Held in the back. Good scrum here by the All Blacks. Gives Ellis a good platform. Oh, the ball's spewed off the side of his boot. Down for Michael Dodds. Looking for a way to get through. Sails down the middle. Then suddenly decides to pull out. Gives it away to the little hooker, Kevin McKenzie. There's not much of him. Now Wiley, who's controlling things very well. Useful looking kick. No room here for John Timu. Or is there? Timu on the counter-attack. And that's clever work by the Otago player, John Timu.
That's great work from JT. He's really light on his feet. He's a danger to play against, but he's good to have on your side. But he's pretty unpredictable with things like that. But that was great work to get out of that situation.
Now let's have a close look at this line-out, because the line-out's just one area of concern here for the All Blacks. They're confronted by some very big men today. 14-3 they lead though. They went to go close into Watt, and all that's happened is that the All Blacks get the throw this time. Shade Munro number 4, Andy McDonald is 5. Rob Wainwright is the man who has been picked out this time, stepping into the gap. That's a lovely kick by Matthew Cooper. That's carved off a good 50 metres.
That's a great kick from Coops. He's hitting the ball really well at the moment, both goal kicking and punting, and that was a magic kick.
$14 points to 3. One world of sport at Old Annie's Land ground in Glasgow. Fitzpatrick looking for the big men down the back, and in fact it's Jamie Joseph. Now Bull Allen likes to run with the ball. First opportunity for him, gets thumped back in the tackle but retains it well. Now Joseph, again on blindside, away for Cooper, who's standing wide. Inga doubles round. All Blacks only 10 metres out from the line. Now Forster rips it out to Ellis. Bunce wasn't expecting it, but grabbed it anyway. Still 10 metres out, and they set it closer to the goalpost this time. Forster, Ellis to Cooper. Timu in. Good tackle made on him, though, by Scott Nicol. Much better defence today by the local team, and the All Blacks have infringed. Well, John Timu came up to create the extra man, but Scott Nicol made a good tackle on him. Just have a look at this. Now, this doesn't compare with the sort of defence we saw the other day.
No, I mean, JT had a chance to get on the outside, but it was a very good tackle. And it just the ball retention here wasn't very good. JT got turned a bit, and you know we got penalised, which you know isn't really on. We've got to keep the ball.
Seventh match for the All Blacks on this tour. Just a week away now from the first big test against Scotland at Murrayfield. Jamie Joseph tries to drag it in. Again, it's untidy ball, taken in by Allen. He did well. But oh, it's coming the wrong way. Now Redpath, the little one down the blind side.
It was pretty unfortunate with the charge down from Jeff, but I guess that's the rules, but that was very unlucky, that penalty.
Bit of a lecture here from referee Spreadbury to Andy McDonald. Just a mention about rucking. We've heard a lot about rucking on this tour, but not so much in Scotland, thankfully.
The Scottish play a lot similar game to us as far as rucking goes, Graham.
Mark Ellis with the clearing kick, another big one. It's not finding the touchline. Down it goes to Michael Dodds. Now it's the kick and chase from Dodds. The call being made here by Ellis once again. Bounce back, and Ellis was able to get it again. And Timu this time. A lot of kicks not finding touch, but this one will find its mark all right.
Yes, you can't really afford to miss touch at this level. I think Mark will be kicking himself a bit, but I'm sure he'll get back on track and be finding the touchline.
So the South threw it very quickly and were able to clear. South, I got the South on the brain. Scotland A. Which, strangely enough, is really probably Scotland B. But they do things a little differently over here, as we saw in England. Cleared by Forster, not as far enough, though, although Ellis is good enough to get out of the tackle and find support from Ian Jones. Across for Frank Bunce. Bunce running into his own men before he finally meets the defence. And the All Blacks should be able to get this one back. Forster away again for Ellis. Calling for it is Parker. Could run himself into a bit of trouble here. Oh, he did it well. Very well indeed. There weren't many options available, and he took the right one.
Yeah, there was good skills from Gary Parker there. I think Mark could have probably kept it in hand a bit there, but he did very well to get out of that situation.
Well, Gary Parker will be thrilled that the team he's playing with today is a bit more competitive. Getting through and taking it was Munro. Now Redpath away for Wiley. Wiley will look back and forward inside for his forwards, and he finds Dave McIver. Redpath goes blindside this time. And it's a nicely weighted little kick, although just beaten a bit by the bounce, and Wilson will be able to force it for a 22 dropout. Jeff Wilson playing his 5th match on tour. So he's had a busy time, 5 out of 7.
Yeah, Jeff's having a good tour at the moment. He's started off with a couple of tries on his debut. He had a great debut, and he's getting strong from there. He's having a very good tour at the moment.
Now, one of the All Blacks has a problem. It looks like Steve Gordon has received a knock, and the All Blacks may well need Blair Larson on the field here. So there's a few injury concerns here. There's Steve Gordon, and the left leg being treated by Dr. John Mayhew and Gary Side, the physio. Steve Gordon's a bit reluctant to go, though, I think. At the moment, though, 14 players on the field as Ian Jones leads the charge up. Falls nicely for Allen. Good charge here by Will Allen. 8 metres on Scotland's side of halfway. They've really got the impetus going here. Fitzpatrick, he thumps it up. Now, that fella looked as though he might have been a bit offside.
I think the ref's playing advantage here.
I think he is too. And he's going to let it go because the All Blacks have it. Whipped across to Timmy Knott. It's a good pass. He's going back for the offside. So a good advantage played by referee Spreadbury, and the All Blacks will take the penalty.
That was a great run from Mark Allen down the side. He's just showing how quick he is for a prop. That was a great little dab.
So Sean Fitzpatrick calling Matt Cooper across. In the meantime, the All Blacks have made a replacement. Blair Larson is out there. Blair Larson, of course, is now officially on the tour with the decision made a few days ago that Robin Brooke couldn't continue.
I don't think the ref stopped talking yet, Grant.
No, he's a real character. He's just talking to Mark Allen there while the kick's being lined up. Something to the effect that you must have thought you were on the wing. He's got a good rapport with the players, though, Tony Spreadbury. And Matthew Cooper now attempting to kick goal number 4. Now, this one might be lacking in distance. It is. And Wiley has all the time in the world to field it and kick for touch. My word, Doug Wiley's played well.
Yeah, he's controlling it very well. As you said, he's a very experienced first 5, so he's got a cool head on him. But the probing kicks he's putting in are very good.
So 2 replacements in the All Black line out, and they're standing near the front. 20 and 19. 20 is Mark Allen, 19 Blair Larson.
Is that infamous 19 jersey again?
That's right, it always gets on, doesn't it? Aaron Penny wins the line out. Mark Allen takes it in. And a problem of feet there. And it might have been Danny Harrington, the prop forward. All the referee said was, watch your feet. So they're certainly conscious of it, at least.
Well, I mean, the Scottish, like I said before, play a similar game to us. They like the rucking, but obviously they did a bit off the ball there. But just looking over at Stevie G, I don't think he's coming back on.
No, so a couple of injury concerns. The All Blacks 7 days out from the Test match will be a little bit worried about it. But it's sensible, I guess, at this stage to get off the field and get the treatment started. So Cooper now from a much handier position. Yet another penalty, but he's away to the right this time. And so 2 consecutive misses from Matthew Cooper. We haven't seen much of that on the tour so far.
And it's very unusual from Coots, but I'm sure he'll get back on target with the next one.
One World of Sport at Old Anniesland ground in the suburb of Anniesland. They made big efforts to find out what Old Anniesland was all about. No one seemed to know. It's just simply the suburb of Anniesland in Glasgow. Doug Wiley kicks out, beautifully taken by Ian Jones, one of the outstanding figures on the tour so far, Ian Jones. And it's taken in there by Fitzpatrick. All Blacks edging up towards the 22 with good control. Or they might have lost it, have they? No, it's coming for Forster. Henderson standing wide, but Ellis slips. Under a bit of pressure, Mark Ellis puts it on the ground and gets penalised.
coming in there.
Aaron Petty didn't stay on his feet. Crashed up by Alan Watt. Ball pops out for Redpath. Looking for those little gaps around the fringes. The All Blacks have shut those down a lot as McIver carries on. Wiley goes into play at halfback. He slides through a gap. Henderson makes the tackle. They certainly want to have a go, these guys. Andy McDonald crunches it up. Now Redpath away for Jardine. And the kick, if it goes over the goal line, represents an absolute waste of time. After all the hard work has been done, as the referee blows the whistle for half-time, it's been competitive in the first 40 minutes. And there's the half-time score. All Blacks 14. And the All Blacks have certainly got a game on their hands here. They've only managed to score the one try in the first half through Mark Ellis. And it's been a very competitive effort from Scotland A. Well, we're just about ready to go, although the referee's not quite ready to go yet.
I think the ref will go on his own time, Grant.
Yes, he's a real character, Tony Spreadbury. It's been a pleasure to listen to him on the microphone. Of course, you can't hear him at home, but we're able to relay some of the things that he's been saying.
I don't know where he's getting his energy from. He's running and talking for the first 40 minutes, non-stop.
Second half then, about to get underway. 14-3 at the break. And the kickoff made by Gary Parker down into the in-ball area, into the dead ball area. In fact, too far. Now, that's a bit, that's the new law, of course. Well, it's not so new anymore, but I think some players tend to forget it.
Once again, that's a wasted kick, Grant. I mean, they've just given away possession to us with a huge blindside, and hopefully we've got something going here.
Well, it's an excellent attacking position, this. Right in centre field. Stu Forster then to feed. Ellis, they're all coming one way, and the All Blacks run the ball to the right. Timu up as the extra man with his good speed, John Timu, but the tackle's being made today. Henderson across there quickly, joined by Blair Larson, who was also there quickly. And away they go again. Frank Bunce threatening to go through the gap. Ellis gets it onto his left boot, but well read by Michael Dodds, the fullback. And Stu Forster getting back in good defence. Kept it in. No, the touchdown puts the flag up. Well, Stu Forster will probably argue otherwise, but quite possibly that was a good decision by the line umpire.
Defence has been really good from Scotland A. I mean, no one's broken through yet, and Frank almost got through, but the tackle was there to be made, and you know they're committing themselves a lot more today.
Little Stewie Forster playing his fourth game on tour. Thrown by Mackenzie. Not many jumpers there, but the All Blacks offside according to the referee. And so here's another opportunity for Gary Parker, who hasn't landed a goal in the two matches so far. He came into the match at Gala Shields the other day as the leading point scorer in Scottish rugby, but he so far hasn't landed one.
Well, luckily enough, we didn't give him that many chances on Wednesday. But apparently he's a very good kicker. From what I've heard, the talk around the town is that he is a very good goal kicker. I just hasn't shown it yet, I don't think.
Well, he's a little character, there's no doubt about that. This is the guy that played soccer for New Zealand, played for Napier City Rovers for 6 seasons, and then comes back and plays rugby. It's a strange mixture.
Well, I'm not sure, is he Scottish?
Yeah, he is, yes.
Yeah, obviously if he come over to play soccer in New Zealand, but I think he just loves sport.
Well, he's got his first chance here to kick a goal against the All Blacks. Let's see how he goes. No, he's pushed this one away to the right. And he fires the tee away. Yes, right. So it remains 14 points to 3. All Blacks defending early in the second half. Good drop out by Cooper. Although it falls for Wainwright, picked up by Munro. Now Jardine. Good solid tackling there by Blair Larson. It's going to come back though for Redpath. Wiley across to Wainwright again. He's been impressive today. Wainwright, Ingham misses the tackle. Fortunately this time for Logan. Logan still got a hold of the ball, but in fact it was lost forward.
It's lucky that Logan's got a step, because Ingham was lining him up from about 10 metres out.
Well, this guy here, Rob Wainwright, has had a very good game so far. Here he is prominent once again, made the pass. And Inga just missed the tackle, and that was fortunate for Ken Logan.
Very fortunate.
So Wainwright looks like he might be facing the All Blacks at Murrayfield if he can continue in this form. Held by Aaron Penning in the back. Back now for Forster. Wainwright waits again, gets lined up by Inga and gets bumped in the tackle this time. And there were 2 knock-ons there, and the referee plays the first, which was the one by Wainwright.
Well, that's good chasing again from Inga on those box kicks. He's very good at chasing, and he lets you know he's there.
Picked up by Aaron Penning, away for Jamie Joseph. He flicks it up for Blair Larson. Jones. Ellis decides to accelerate. Good speed shown by Mark Ellis. Conscious of having to keep in the field of play, sets it up nicely, and the All Blacks have something to work with here. Now Forster, away for Bunce, filling in for Ellis. Larson gets steam up, hands it off to Cooper. Good continuation of play here, Cooper. 15 metres out from the line. As the All Blacks set it again, or do they? It's not going to come back. Yes, it's a penalty. No chance of that coming back. Number 2, Kevin McKenzie, lying all over the ball, and the All Blacks have the penalty.
Well, that was great play once again from Mark Ellis. He showed a great turn of pace down the blind side. Inga unfortunately got taken out, so I don't think he could stay there and support.
So Frank Bunce, good vision shown by Bunce there. He realised Ellis wasn't home, so he went in and did the job at first 5/8. Now Cooper, who missed a couple just before half-time. He shouldn't have any problems here, though.
I think this should be bread and butter, hopefully, Grant.
He's kicked 3 penalties so far today, Matthew Cooper. As he slips over, he lands another one. And the All Blacks go out now to 17 points to 3. 4 penalty goals by Matthew Cooper.
I better put across a few messages. Congratulations to John Mitchell and his wife Kay on their 6th wedding anniversary. Hi to Mum and Ross and Merv and Nike way up there in Kyo. Hope you're enjoying this.
Wiley with the restart, pushing it down for Fitzpatrick. Wainwright first man there once again. And the All Blacks get the penalty. And
even I could figure out what that penalty was for, Grant.
Must try and stay on their feet, and that's the problem for Dave McIver and the rest of the Scotland A forward pack. And Matthew Cooper pushing it across the touchline. Well, it seems a long time ago now that the Singapore Airlines flight dropped us at Heathrow. But we're really coming to the business end of the tour now, with the first test match against Scotland coming up next Saturday.
That's right, the 2 tests within the week, so it's definitely coming to that end of the tour, right? It's been that long.
Here they come again. Good tackle made there by Paul Henderson. Charging on goes Andy McDonald. They're all wanting to have a go. Now the little hooker wants to have a crack. He runs straight into Blair Larson. Wiley. Dodds gets into the gap. Away it goes for Logan, but again the swarming All Black defence. In fact, Inga picked the ball up, and the All Blacks in possession of it. Jamie Joseph has a hand on it. Now Forster, and the kick made by Ellis, partially charged.
That's good defence from Inga there.
Well, they took a quick throw and did Scotland A. Some nice little work there, nice little shimmy by fullback Dodds. But look at the good smothering defence, and look how Ingler is able to get up and claim the ball.
Yeah, that was great work from Vang. He was on his feet, so there was nothing illegal with that.
$17 points to 3. One World of Sport at Old Annie's Land ground in Glasgow. There's a big gap for McKenzie. Whips it away from McIver. Goodness me, the All Blacks left a bit of a hole there. And Scotland A on the charge, but they're running it straight back into the heavy traffic. And they get penalised to the All Blacks. But if ever there was an opportunity to spread it wide, Scotland A missed it.
Yeah, I don't know where that gap came from, but the hooker took it there and he sort of saw daylight and had a little run.
Big Alan Watt was the man who took it back into the All Black forward pack. when probably spinning it wide would have been a better option, but they've got a penalty anyway. And so Gary Parker comes back into the spotlight, but in the meantime, someone about twice, maybe 3 times his size, Alan Watt, is getting attended to.
That's right. The great thing with these grounds, Grant, is the crowd, get so close to the field that they get right behind, and you could, we're about 60 feet up here, and you could hear the crowd without doubt when that gap was there. So, they certainly get behind their boys over here.
Well, this game wasn't originally going to be held in Glasgow. The game against Scotland A was scheduled earlier on to be played at Hoyk. But the good people of Glasgow, who are very keen on their rugby, wanted it played as Parker goes again, and he's wide once more. They might have to look at changing the goal kicker.
I don't know if anyone else can actually kick in the team, but he's certainly not hitting them well.
Had their opportunities. Certainly Parker's had 3 unsuccessful attempts, and had they gone over, then the All Blacks might have been having a little glance at the scoreboard themselves. Matthew Cooper goes with a long one this time. Dodds almost misjudged that, almost ran too far, but in the end he fixed it up. Michael Dodds, who's the brother of the former Scottish fullback Peter Dodds, who was a member of their 1984 Grand Slam team. As you say, one of the features of the grounds over here, the close proximity of the spectators to the players, and it adds a lot of atmosphere too, as Forster feeds it back for Ellis, and Ellis put under pressure, gets his kick away.
When you go to the sideline, you certainly know the crowd's there. They let you know that they're around.
Well, certainly so far in this game we've had a better indication of the strength of Scottish rugby. McKenzie tapped again by Watt. He's proved a real problem. That's a long pass out by Redpath. The All Black loose forwards, Henderson and Joseph, read it particularly well. But it's there again for Redpath. Angling it away from Timu. Oh, and that's a good kick. Very good kick.
It's a great kick. It was great defence from Paul Henderson and Jamie Joseph there. It's just unfortunate Scotland A got it back, and that was a marvellous kick from the halfback, I think it was.
Yes, it was. Brian Redpath. He's another one who played in the midweek game. So the All Blacks hard on defence, and they'll be looking for their jumpers to grab something here. Fitzpatrick, because of the din, can't hear what the call is. All Blacks are going to lose their own throw again by the look of it. McIver, although the All Blacks have scrambled in after it. There it is for Big Alan Watt. You can't hang on to it. You'll have to go back and get it. No, it's being claimed by Aaron Penny. Good work by the number 8 forwards. And Forster gets to clear. So a bit of a let-off there for the All Blacks. It was the All Black throw, and again they struggled to secure it.
Yeah, well, they won that line-out. The Scotland A side won the line-out, but once again, bad hands let them down. That was great work from Aaron. Urgency to get the ball, and good clearance from Stewie.
So now it's Scotland A, their opportunity to throw the ball in. You can see the size of some of these blokes. Number 4, there's the line-out count, 19 to 11. They're looking this time for Wainwright down the back. Henderson has a slap at it, and it's fallen for Jamie Joseph. So the All Blacks grab one off the Scotland throw this time. And they set a bit of a drive up through Blair Larson, number 19. Mark Allen carries it on, staggers a few more inches. Did well, now they've lost it. Untidy play here, finally Nicholl straightens it up. Wiley goes back the other way, looking for somewhere to go, and he decides to go straight up the middle. Carried on by the little hooker McKenzie, who's had a good game. Now taken out by Redpath. Wainwright's there again. Almost to the 22, Rob Wainwright. Comes again for Redpath. They charge it up through Shade Munro this time, and the All Blacks dived in over the top. And the crowd starting to warm to the task as well. Good play by Scotland A. Well, not surprisingly, the goal kicker has changed. Gary Parker's been unsuccessful. Here's the big thump up by Shade Munro, who's an interesting character. He was selected to tour New Zealand in 1990 and broke his leg in a charity game and didn't play for a couple of years after that. That's big Andy McDonald there.
It's a big boy, all right.
He's huge, 6'8". You went to school a lot later than I did, Shane. What, 6'8"? 100 and what? Centimetres.
2.03 metres, I think.
Is it okay?
At least that's what Richard Fromont tries to tell us.
All right, okay. So now Michael Dodds is the goal kicker. Let's see, he can do better than Parker. Yes, he can. So Dodds lands the goal, and Scotland A reduced the deficit somewhat, 17 points to 6. Cooper with the restart. Calling for it is McIver. All Blacks a little bit slow to get there from the long dropout. Coming for Redpath, Wiley, with Ian Jones charging at him. He's not going to find the touchline. All Blacks lining up Timu. Tuigamala's there with him. Inga would like to have a run with the ball, and he's going to do just that. Gets rid of one player easily enough, Jamie Joseph, close to the touchline, and the flag is up. Jamie Joseph just had his foot across. He was still holding the ball.
Can't have been very much in that, Grant. I think Jamie let it go before his foot got out. Never mind.
It was marginal, wasn't it? Aaron Penny's got some blood coming from a cut somewhere near the back of his head. I think the referee wants to just tidy that up. Shane Howard having a quick look at the little piece of paper in front of him. More messages for home.
If I don't get these messages out, I'm going to get shot. Hi to Andrea from Marty Berry, and also hi to Arnie. I've got to get that in for Marty as well.
Arnie's the pig, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Thrown by Mackenzie. All Blacks get in. Penny gets in. So Sean Fitzpatrick opting for the scrum in 15 metres. Penny off the back. Good solid defence though by Scotland. Round the fringes today. Mark Allen hands it back. Fitzpatrick standing wide. Charges it Wiley. And I think the referee's going to call somebody out here. Yes, he is. Now I noticed the foot go over. Calling the captain across also. Andy McDonald is being spoken to. Well, it looked a lot more serious than it finished up being. The referee said, just watch your feet, please. Andy McDonald said he was sorry, and we get on with the game. Well, it's become a real issue in the last couple of weeks, especially on the English part of the tour. After the incident at Red Ruth, and it's been an ongoing discussion, but the referees have been very conscious of it.
Yeah, that's right. Unfortunately over here, rucking's sort of taken in a different light to what it is back in New Zealand, except up in Scotland, because, you know, they play a similar game to New Zealand, but yeah, it came up in the papers quite a bit, but I think that was blown up out of proportion in England.
Well, even that little incident there, Andy McDonald looked to me as though he was trying to step over the All Black player, and there didn't appear to be any real intent.
Yeah, that's right. He didn't go in with all his sprigs blazing. You know, he just seemed to, as you say, step over Fitzy, but obviously the ref saw something there.
So Matthew Cooper, 4 penalty goals today, trying to make it 5. Kick of about 40 metres. Might struggle to get the distance this time. Yes, he will. And the fair catch is claimed by Brian Redpath, who's had a very good game, the little halfback. Taps it to himself and bangs it away. And Cooper just stays in the field of play. Good footwork. Tuigamala's in good support. And the All Blacks here could make something of this as they rush in near the 22. Stu Forster caught out a bit wide, but he's finally got back into position. The two replacements controlling the ball, Mark Allen and Blair Larson. Mark Allen's had a very prominent game since he got on the field. Now Forster frees it up for Ellis. Cooper. They're lined up in defence here, but the All Blacks might have a few extra players. Wilson away for Joseph. Needs support in field. Didn't have it there. Placed it on the ground once more. Still inside the 22. Carried on by Olo Brown. But the defence of the Scottish side this afternoon has been very, very good.
It's quite funny, they had a lockout there who tackled JT. I don't know what he was doing out there, but he certainly made a good tackle on Dron. But they, as you say, they seem to be tackling a lot more. They're covering a lot better, and their tackles, they're making their tackles count.
One World of Sport in Glasgow. The match against Scotland A. And it's a free kick this time against the All Blacks. A line-out infringement. Well, there's a huge New Zealand contingent over here, and we're looking at some of them. So at home, you might just recognise one or two people.
We've got 3 tour parties that are following. It's magic to actually hear the Kiwi accent again when it's not coming from your own teammates.
Well, it's not always easy to understand the Glaswegians, is it?
Say that again. It's not easy at all.
The ones I never worked out were the Geordies over in Newcastle. I never had any idea what they were talking about.
The accent seems to be getting stronger the more north we go.
Sean Fitzpatrick then to throw. 5 metres on the All Black side of halfway. 17 points to 6 as he looks down the back to Henderson, who comes up with a good leap. Penny controls it, or does he? No, Scotland have turned the All Blacks over. Away for Wiley. Looks behind him and finds Jardine. Oh, he got through the first one already. Got through a couple, Jardine. Still have control of the ball. 15 metres out, Redpath. Stabs a little kick ahead. Parker's coming, but the kick is too far. Well, once again, a near thing. And a couple of missed tackles that time by the All Blacks.
Yeah, that was a good weaving run there from Ian Jardine. I think they wasted it with that kick again, but...
There it is there. What a good solid run. In the end, the tackle made by... Well, no, Mark Allen missed the tackle too. But it was up to Henderson and Ellis to do the job. So Cooper with the restart. Not controlled. Wainwright tried to pick it up. Play on, says the referee. Cooper away for Tuigamala. Again, starved of opportunities really out on the left wing side. Certainly in attacking positions anyway. And we haven't seen much of Jeff Wilson either. It's been one of those games, really. Tap back for Forster, or handed back for Forster. And he makes the clearance. Well, the All Blacks are doing enough. 17 points to 6, but it's been a far from perfect performance, really.
I mean, the opposition's been obviously a lot stronger than what it was on Wednesday, but you know, our tight five seem to be having a bit of trouble.
Well, Wainwright's won it easily again. McIver drives it on. The loose forwards have been outstanding for Scotland A today. Next man up is Carl Hogg. He's a big, tall player too. It's going to come eventually for Redpath. Oh, he saw a little gap, then changed his mind. Wiley. Beside him is McDonald. Good continuation of play. Redpath back to Wiley, looking for another drop kick. Snaps it towards the post, and that's 2 for Doug Wiley. 17 points to 9.
Certainly made the crowd happy. They've got their backup, Scotland A. That was a great drop kick from Doug Wiley. He was quite a way out. But I think the All Blacks have to be a bit careful here, because the Scottish are quite dangerous with their tails up.
That's a lovely kick by Wiley. His second of the day, 17 to 9. And he's bringing all his vast experience to bear in this game. Hogg goes charging ahead. The All Blacks just a little loose as he went through the middle. Now Redpath running through to bring them onside as Henderson takes it as Wainwright. Real commitment there. Crashing through was Jardine again in centre field. And if he plays with Scott Hastings in the test match, they might be pretty formidable in midfield. And the penalty goes against somebody holding on to the ball right at the bottom there. And it was McIver, who's been penalised a bit in the game. He's had 4 caps, this fellow. He played right through the Five Nations in 1992. And the All Blacks this time go back towards the Scotland A 22.
He's got to run out of breath sometime, Grant, the ref.
Yes, he's not only running around, he's blowing the whistle and having a yak all at the same time. So the All Blacks have much better line-out position this time. Olo Brown driving on Larson. Oh, they might have turned it over. Now it's spurted back on the All Black side. Fitzpatrick. He's got Henderson there beside him. Good surge, though, by the All Black captain. Running it out towards centre field, which opens up the blind side if they want to use it. And what have we got here? Referee backing away. Oh, he was playing an advantage. Well, I thought for a moment there he was going to call somebody out. My heart just went a couple of beats quicker. As he backed away, I thought, hello, we're going to call somebody out here, but no, he'd gone back to a previous infringement.
He played a pretty long advantage there, Grant. I think the crowd weren't too happy with what Jamie did come into the ruck there, but I think that was good honest rucking, but he played a very long advantage.
So the injured player being attended to, number 4, Shade Munro. As I said earlier, he was desperately unlucky to miss the Scottish tour of New Zealand a few years ago with that broken leg. He got in a charity game, believe it or not, and it kept him out of rugby for a couple of years. And there was Jamie Joseph doing some rucking, and I thought for a moment Joseph had a quick look at the referee too. But he's told the All Blacks just to watch their feet. Snapped up by Penny. Well worked blindside move. Henderson gets into the gap. Also there is Joseph. The All Blacks have scored some good tries from loose forwards working together. Now Henderson, at least Cooper. Oh, knocked on by Timu. Quite a straightforward pass and put down by John Timu.
I think JT took his eye off the ball then. He was in quite a big gap there, but and that's unfortunate.
17 points to 9. All Blacks ahead. Away for Wiley, one of the outstanding players in this game. And once again, he makes a nice clearance. Well, Craig Chalmers will probably play in the test match. He's the incumbent, but they've got a good backup in Doug Wiley.
He's had a very good game, Doug Wiley. He's played with a lot of control. He's put the ball behind us. He's kept our forwards on the move. He's quite educated with the boot.
All Blacks have scored just the one try today. Mark Ellis scored it. Tapped by Hogg. Big charge again from Wainwright. McIver carries it on again. The loose forwards have been quite outstanding. Now they whip it away for Wiley, and he makes the kick in behind Inga. Coming quickly down on Inga is Logan. Oh, but he's through is Tuigamala. Where's the support? It comes from Frank Bunce. Good tackle made by McIver once again, and they're in touch. Well, in fact, it might have been the little hooker. Look at Inga here. Through the first one okay, but then good defence. And Frank Bunce, who was in support, is overwhelmed.
And there was a good run from Inga down the sideline. Unfortunately, Frank just put his foot into touch.
Thrown by McKenzie. It's untidy for Forster. And McKenzie and Forster about the same size, really. He's a tiny little hooker, this fellow. But he's got a fair bit of spirit.
Stu Forster's not exactly a roving monster.
No, he is not. What do they call him? Bear.
Little Fozzie Bear, that's right.
Whistle's gone. Well, the referee said Jonesy pushed him out of the road, so he knows all the players out there. Ian Jones penalised, and it's going to be Wiley. Tuigamala is in touch, so they'll go back for the line-out. Well, one or two of these Scotland A players have done their test chances no harm whatsoever.
Yeah, that's right. The midfield, I thought, have had a very strong game, both defensively and on attack. And the type 5 of Scotland A are having all are having big games. They're putting their mark on the game.
McKenzie with the throw. Good leap by Paul Henderson right at the back. He gave it away to Aaron Penny. All Blacks trying to control this inside their own 22. coming now for Forster. Away for Ellis. Again, they're wanting her to have a run. Back to Logan, who hasn't been able to control him. Logan might be playing himself out of a test spot. He hasn't really handling it at all well.
Who has?
Well, that's right. "17 points to 9 it remains. One stage it was 17 points to 3, but now Scotland A are in some position to give the All Blacks a fright, certainly if they score next.
The All Blacks haven't done a lot of attacking in the second half here, Grant. I can't remember the last time they were down in the 22. It's been a while.
Well, they might be able to mount something from here on their own 10-metre line. Penny up for Joseph. But the defence around the fringes has been very solid from the Scottish team. Forster, change of tactics this time. Tuigamala looking to time his run. Cooper coming through onto it. And a bit of offside play here. And so Matthew Cooper. And offside against Carl Hogg, the number 8 forward. Cooper this time deciding the kick is a bit far. Now there's a bit of a breeze blowing. It's not too significant, but just enough for Matthew Cooper to decide not to kick for goal. Last time the All Blacks played here in Glasgow was in 1979. And they had a win that day, but not by too much. Blair Larson, he's been in outstanding form since arriving on the tour. Lays it back nicely. Now the All Blacks could go here as Ellis shows his pace. Mark Ellis stands in the tackle, but then gets dumped in a good tackle by Jardine once again, whose tackling in midfield has been quite outstanding, and the All Blacks are penalised.
Yeah, it was good defence there from Ian Jardine, getting across to get Mark. It's not an easy task getting Mark Ellis because he's quite quick.
Well, he stayed with him. Might have looked as though he missed him the first time, but stayed with him, came back at him, and made the tackle. Kevin McKenzie. Low and hard this time. And once again they're in touch. We haven't seen much of the tight head prop, Danny Harrington, but he's been battling away. Another swoop past the New Zealand supporters.
There's certainly a lot of them around at the moment, Grant. It's good to see.
Most of the grandstands you can see there are temporary. That's the only permanent grandstand here at the old Annie's Land grounds. So they've done a marvellous job preparing for this game. And offside play here against Jamie Joseph. Tony Spreadbury doesn't look unlike Fred Howard, the English referee who's just retired from international rugby. And there's the kick by Wiley, and once again, safe and sound Doug Wiley. He's 30 years of age nowadays, but there's still plenty of life left. McKenzie goes for McDonald in the middle of the lineup. Outstanding leap by Andy McDonald. Here's Redpath. McKenzie was lurking, and there was a little knock on in there. Well, they've not been afraid to run the ball at the All Blacks.
No, they've got a lot of ball at the moment, Grant, and they're using it really well. That was a great tackle from Mark Ellis here to stop the hooker, I think it was.
So it's a defensive scrum for the All Blacks. Olo Brown across on the far side against this enormous fellow Alan Watt. And they could well meet again next Saturday. Held on the back by Penny, good control. He decides to take it on. Lays it back now for Forster. And Ellis, all the time in the world to make the clearance, and it's a good one from Mark Ellis. Well, the All Blacks simply haven't been able to mount too many attacks in this game, haven't been allowed to.
No, that's right. The top five in Scotland A, and in fact the whole pack are playing very well for Scotland A, and they're defending really well in the midfield and in the back line, not giving us many opportunities.
Mackenzie dragged down this time by Hogg, but the whistle's gone, and it wasn't thrown straight. Well, they've got so many players who can jump. It's an enormous forward pack, really, in terms of height. Again, Aaron Penny takes it off the back. Gave it back to Jamie Joseph. Again, there's not much room through there around the fringes for the All Blacks. It came for Forster. Now could open up here. Stu Forster has to wait. Penny now hands it up for Sean Fitzpatrick on the charge. Again, the tackle is made this time by Wiley. 5 metres out from the 22. Coming for Forster rather slowly. Now Ellis. Away for Cooper. Timu had to wait for the pass, just slowed it down for a moment. Just out from the 22. The All Blacks try to set it again. It's not going to come out of there. And with players lying all over the ball, it's not surprising to hear the whistle blow and the penalty to go to New Zealand.
That was a good continuation of play down there. Bear started off, Stu Forster started off running down the blind side. It was a good little run. It's unfortunately couldn't link up with Jeff Wilson out wide, because I think Goldie would have been away there, but all in all, it was good play.
Yeah, good little surge by Stu Forster. And it's resulted finally in a shot at goal for Matthew Cooper. Here it is here. It was a big gap that opened up. And sensibly, he couldn't find anybody, so he had to wait. And then it was Aaron Penny and Sean Fitzpatrick who came charging onto it.
Just say hi to my lovely girlfriend Marcella. She'll be up watching this.
Cooper, and that's a nice kick from Matthew Cooper, and that gives the All Blacks a little bit of breathing space. 20 points to 9 they lead, and 4 minutes left in the game. So this is a game that's done a lot to restore the pride of Scottish rugby, which took a severe blow midweek. And they've shown, I think, how competitive Scotland will be when the big guns come in next Saturday as Ellis clears. We haven't seen the likes of the Hastings boys and one or two other key players. Andy Nicholl, the halfback. We've seen Craig Chalmers, but there's one or two other forwards to come in. Kenny Milne, also Burnell. So I think they'll be very competitive at Murrayfield. Wild tack that time by McDonald, but the All Blacks came through the line-out. Redpath wants to take it quickly. McIver's going to run it up. Goes charging up again. They've run strongly all day, these fellas. Harrington, the prop forward this time. Now it's not going to come out of there, and so the All Blacks have managed to stop that one. Just a few minutes left in the game, and the scrum to be reset. Forster back for Ellis. All Blacks happy now to keep the thing reasonably tight as Dodds keeps it in the field of play. Waiting for it was Blair Larson. Well taken by the replacement player. Comes out for Forster. The kick for Jeff Wilson to come charging onto. Little Gary Parker goes back after it. Now this could be dangerous. He's given Inga a chance to get some steam up here. He's got John Timu with him. He ran comes into another solid tackle. That was lost forward by Inger as he tried to just flick it up. Once again, the tackling, the defence of Scotland A remains very solid.
Yeah, that's right, Grant. That summed it up in that tackle there. They've been committed the whole game to making the tackles. You know, a lot of Scottish people were quite disappointed with the game on Wednesday with the defence and as far as the south of Scotland went, but today they've proved they can tackle.
All Blacks are players short at the moment. Blair Larson has gone down. We can't see it. It's away across on the other side of the field. Now that could be a severe blow for the All Blacks. Although he wants to come back, and he will come back. He's hovering away on the right wing at the moment. Redpath away for Wiley. Oh, he's going to kick it down to Larson. He's running okay. That's good. John Timu finds a gap easily enough. Now gets it away to Wilson. Awkward pass, couldn't hang on to it. And it'll be a scrum. Referee just checking the watch. Time almost up in the game. The All Blacks ahead by 20 points to 9. Redpath to one of the last scrums of the game. Wiley whips it across. They're still going to kick. Back again for John Timu. Wants to open it up. Finds Stu Forster, but again being closed down very quickly. Forster good on his feet. Joseph hangs on well. Good footwork shown by Jamie Joseph. Hands it up for Penny. Now Forster goes again. Cooper away for Tuigamala. Surging away from once again from 2 or 3 tackles. Mark Allen first man there. Now Forster. Ellis. Joseph again. Tries to crash through Wiley's tackle. But they've tackled their hearts out today. Have the Scotland A side. Now Ellis whips it away for Cooper. Timu in good support. Look at the tackling. All Blacks have retained the ball, but the tackles continue to come, and in the end the All Blacks infringe by diving in over the top. Quickly taken by Parker. He kicks it away downfield. Wilson's got it pretty well covered as long as it goes over the goal line, which it will do, and so the problem is solved for the All Blacks as Wilson forces, and the referee blows the whistle, which indicates full time, and a spirited effort by Scotland A. Some pride restored to Scottish rugby as the All Blacks win today in Glasgow by 20 points to 9. And Shane Howard, they'll be pleased to have the win, but there are a few things to work on.